Hi, everybody.
Hello, how are you guys? Welcome to the Survivor Recap.
That was beautiful, MC.
Thank you. I've been practicing my
Beautiful.
intros.
So, two episodes all in one.
Yep. We make the first one quick. Lots of crazy. Man, that was such a good episode. I
It
hate
was.
that we could not record the recap last week.
It was definitely one of the best episodes of the season. Though I do have to say, I very much enjoyed this episode, this most recent episode as well, for different reasons, though.
Yeah. So where to begin? In the episode 2 weeks ago, the one we failed to recap. They, I guess let's just get right to they merge basically.
Yeah. Rodney's upset because he lost his friend Joaquin, and so it's time for a merge because that's how the producers are going to answer that. Oh no, what's he going to do question.
So this is a big merge, right?
This is a big merge.
Yeah, it was what
12?
Yeah.
12?
No, more than that, and you need seven
You
to
need
vote
7
out.
votes. Well, that's 12, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 12. MC. Or 13. It'd be 12 or 13 because if it was 14, it would be a tie if it was 7 votes.
Okay.
I mean, have they ever had a merge this big before? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
know.
one of the early seasons, but this is definitely something big, and so I'm really excited that it's actually doing this.
They also removed their count. They just came back and it was like day one Survivor. After they
Which
get
was
back.
crazy.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. That was definitely. I think that's smart though. It makes them redo the team building exercises. So
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree. Which camp did they end up at? The white collar?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm still trying to figure out, isn't there still one idol from the original 3 idols hidden out there somewhere? Or were they all found?
There was
No.
only 2 idols found. Yeah, but I don't know what camp the other one was at. Do you think they moved them?
I see. I have no idea in this case because this one's a whole different scenario than it was before. Do I think they reburied any that people got put out, in their pocket? Hell no, they didn't. Luckily, this season, nobody's been voted out with an idol in their pocket yet.
So we see basically at this tribe, we start to see the instant relationships. You see the Jen and Haley, Mike and Kelly, and then we're like, okay, well, where's everybody else? Rodney is starting to appeal to Will because Rodney has no one else apparently.
Yeah.
The big question is Rodney a smart player? And Will is just kind of resigning the two, like, tell me who to vote out. And it's like, come on, Will. You had a chance to be a really good player early on in the game, and then now you're just like, you're riding
Yeah.
coattails, and that's how you don't win Survivor.
Yeah, Will seemed smart early on, but it doesn't seem like I don't know.
It's not working out for him.
Well, it's not
Meanwhile-
yeah, I was gonna say I think Rodney is acting smarter than he seemed to be at the beginning. The way he played off what he was doing with Joaquin was, I think he's dumb still. However, I think he played it kind of well to his people that were left.
Yeah, I agree with that. Meanwhile, Dan's off making alliances with the ocean, and he's getting stung by jellyfish. Why is it that the camera never catches anything? He's just like, he's coming out of the ocean. He's like, oh, I got stung by jellyfish. Watch out, watch out.
And I lost my other pair of shorts.
And then, of course, Shireen is the one that he runs into, and she's like, you want me to pee on it? He's like, no, I peed on it. It's good. I peed on it. We peed on it. You got the pee. It's on it.
Meanwhile, Jen is just like, oh, please stop. Please, just put it in hot water. He's like, no,
Yeah.
I peed on it. I'm fine. It's like, no, put it in hot water. And then he dismisses her.
Yeah.
He says, I don't care if she's a lifeguard. I know what to do. It's like, oh my God.
But he
Like-
does put it in hot water.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. He gets by the camp. I need hot water.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. This
Well,
is a
he
draft
goes
room.
back. He says, I need hot water because Jen told me to. It's like, come on, be more snarky about it. Come on.
Would
can't
you
help-
like to see him put his feet in the pot of water like Mike did?
Or not Mike.
Oh,
Other
Who
dude.
was it?
yeah, who got that? The guy who got stung
Max.
on
I'm
both
sorry.
feet.
Yeah. Max.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Dan's a pathological liar. I don't believe anything that he says has happened to him at this point.
I've determined in the last 2 episodes, I seriously think Dan is not even a true blue collar. I think he's a producer plant.
You think so?
I do
Yes.
not disagree.
Yeah.
I agree fully.
Yes, I do. He doesn't come across with anything blue collar that he does. The way he talks, the way he says things, He looks like a big, like, burly, blue-collar type of dude. I don't think he's done a day of hard labor in his
He's
life.
a mailman.
A mailman. Wait, is he really a mailman?
Wasn't that his profession? A mailman?
Shoot, no.
Oh, I could see him doing that. That's not. I mean, that's just you sit in the truck and you put the mail in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those cars with the driver's seat on the wrong side of the car.
Sometimes you have to lift a very heavy box.
No, I'm going to load this.
Do you remember when we were
kids?
kids? The mailmen were all going postal.
Oh, yeah. Well, it says, you know what? U.S. Postal Service. I didn't even realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what had happened that made their jobs less stressful.
And so being that he works for the U.S. Postal Service, he's very excited when they come up with a new tribe name.
I
love it.
Do you?
No.
So Mike comes up with America for their tribe name, and
Did Mike
why?
really even...
Why?
I mean,
Merica.
Yes.
America. And Haley loves it because she loves the Constitution, so...
Yeah, she just babbles on about the Constitution for a long time, and half of
Shireen
it
hates
didn't
it.
make any sense.
But Shireen hates it, and she's embarrassed because of it. She's like, we can't even... Like you know something's wrong when you make Shireen embarrassed, you know?
Yeah.
She walks around without any pants, like on national television, but call the tribe America, and suddenly she's all red in the face and trying to hide her identity.
See,
I'm just thinking of all the people that aren't American that watch this show and what they must think of us.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that Mike should be on Redneck Island as opposed to on Survivor. I mean, it's just like, you know, America, fuck yeah. Like, that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
before we go to immunity, though, we do hear a plan taking form from Mike. His plan is to take out Joe with Rodney. Rodney, you're back with us. We're sorry we took out Joaquin, but you know what happens to power couples, says Mike, who is with Kelly. But anyway,
Bromance.
but Rodney's like, no, I want to kill you all. You know, he's done with this. But it's time for immunity. We got to hug some poles.
All right. Yeah. Hanging on poles.
And I called the winner of this one the second they announced what the challenge was.
Yeah, I don't like these types of challenges. I don't think it's fair. Like, it's one of those challenges where your body weight and stuff give you an advantage. And wife made a point too. Does the pole color give you an advantage? Because if you're out there in the sun, if you're on a darker colored pole, it's going to warm up quicker and stuff. So I don't know.
I didn't even think about that.
That is a really weird thing to think about.
Huh. Yeah, I
I want the
actually,
blue pole.
I kind of like the pole hanging challenges, but the thing is, throughout Survivor history, you've been able to, like, it's always that crazy, free-spirited person who ends up winning, like Ozzy. You knew that Ozzy was going to win it when he did the pole hanging challenge in his season. This one I instantly just looked at and was like, the obvious contender for this is Joe. There's no question in my mind. Granted, it didn't work out nearly as seamlessly as I thought it was going to. Because, you know, basically what happens at the beginning of this thing, like, Dan went out quick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you people. I mean, a big fat guy has no chance. Dan and Will, basically, it's like you might as well not even climb to the pole. You're wasting your time even getting up there.
Right.
Well, Probst, he started talking. I think he was trying to justify what we're currently discussing. He was like, "Remember, 3 men and 3 women have won this." Like, okay, now how many fat guys have won it? You know, come on, let's give us the real stats here.
Right.
Yeah, so how's it go? Dan goes out, Tyler goes out quick.
Well,
Jen is stung on her inner thigh.
Yeah, that was kind of entertaining to see that. Well, so question is, did that really actually happen or not? Or is that somebody's play to try to get a little bit of sympathy and throw other people off as well? I never saw a bee. Nobody else even complained that there was any type of bees around, and Jen gets stuck.
Do you think Jen is smart enough to pull off that big of a play?
I
in such the middle of a challenge?
think Jen's a smart girl.
I think she's smart, but do you think is anybody on Survivor that smart?
who's gonna risk that much? Like, she was like moving around and like swatting the fly. I don't think anyone's gonna risk that much movement on a pole like that for a sympathy.
Well,
vote. She didn't just fall off right afterwards. I mean, she's down there a while afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. How long was it afterwards?
She was one of the last people off. It was just
Yeah,
her and someone else.
she
I
lasted
think.
into the giant rainstorm that was extremely epic.
I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical if there was a bug. I'm also skeptical of Dan's anything more than an actor. So it doesn't.
Were you skeptical of the giant rainstorm that
Yep.
came out of nowhere?
I think that was definitely a planned post editing. You know.
Are we even watching the show anymore? I do think I've said this many times. I think they planned the challenges around days that the weather could play a factor. So I think that they planned to do this challenge on a day that it could rain, because that makes a big difference in the challenge, right? So
It was really cool though.
Yeah.
It started getting really like windy and wet, and it was crazy. I love that.
Yeah, in the rain and such, in a challenge like that, if you move your grip at all, you're done.
Yeah.
'Cause as long as you hold on and you keep that spot dry, you have some friction. The second you let water leak into that area, done. It's over.
All right, so we now Joe wins. Congratulations,
Well,
Joe.
I want to point out that Carolyn, though, I didn't expect her to last nearly as long as she did. That's why I said it didn't come as easily as I thought it would for Joe to win, because Carolyn was not really on my top list of contenders in this one.
yeah.
And she,
I didn't even remember that.
yep, she was the second one, or second to last one out. I mean, and I was
Good for her.
impressed.
I think Carolyn's like really playing out there right now. I think she's one of the people who's playing more than anybody. I think she's doing backroom deals and stuff like this shows that she's also doing the physical part of the game too. So
Yeah.
I like Carolyn's still in the running for the win. People like Will, no, you've lost already. Congratulations. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but
Yeah. I can
You've
easily
lost.
see Carolyn winning. She still has her idol too, right?
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
All right. So we go to tribal after all of that.
So before tribal, because I don't remember when it happens in this episode, and I didn't want to bring it up yet because I couldn't remember exactly when it happened. Did you notice the scene where they were showing, and I can't remember if this is right before the merge or after the merge or what, they showed their chickens?
No, I didn't even notice it. What
So,
was up with the chickens?
I didn't notice it at first either because it was all the ambiance and the background noise, and all of a sudden they're flashing right before they show something happening at camp and some people talking about something, and you hear, "Arr!" and like it flashes around, and Julia goes, "So the rooster's still there, huh?" And all of a sudden I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! I gotta rewind this." And I rewound.
Yeah,
it,
I
and they
didn't
zoomed
understand.
right in on the freaking rooster in the cage.
So, did they kill one of the hens?
Oh, that means they either killed one of the hens or they used old footage to use that like interim scene change or whatever. But yeah, now it leads me to believe that look, they were smart enough to kill one of the egg producing chickens and leave the rooster there.
Jesus Christ. Well, okay. Or like you said, maybe or even the footage where. Oh no, wait. 'Cause I was about to say the footage where they killed the chicken was later on, but no, that's never mind.
Before we get to tribal, I'm going to quickly recap what happened drama-wise. Mike's new plan is to break up the Haley Jen power couple because Joe has the idol. Will is out there. He says the no callers are either going to go with the white or blue callers. Jen is wanting to take out the blue callers, obviously. So hey, that looks like the no caller is going to go towards the white callers. But Tyler is the white caller, and he says he can go pretty much anywhere, so he's thinking that he might go with blue collar, but they have to loop him into the plan first. And Mike is kind of keeping him on the outside, so it's like, who's going to have the numbers? What's going to happen? And Jen remembers that she has her magic idol, and then we go to tribal.
I like whenever Tyler said to Carolyn, "Get your key ready. It's a key party. You want to be a swinger? You can be a swinger tonight."
I do not remember that. Tyler's a funny guy.
I also liked the very first thing said in tribal was Will saying, "Jeff, you might be getting voted out tonight. I don't know. Safe tonight. I hope you have an idol."
That was funny. That was
Probst
funny.
has the lost idol from the other camp, so he's good.
So Kelly's talking about how they're all strategizing. No one's safe. Joe says it's stab or be stabbed. Will says his vote will show you can count on him, which it did. Because I don't, like they had told Will to vote for Haley to show he was loyal, and then the rest of them are going to vote for Jen. Is that right?
That is what they said. And what do you think about that? Do you think that they needed, if they wanted Will on their side, that's a good way to flesh out where he's really at, but was it worth the risk to have him vote for somebody else as opposed to who they actually wanted out?
Well, they thought that they were like 7 strong versus 4, right? So they thought that they didn't really matter, I guess. But I always think stuff like that is silly because, like, I think unnecessarily splitting the votes and stuff is silly. Like, whenever you start messing around like that, that's whenever things happen you don't think is going to happen. Like, you can never assume you have the votes you have. So yeah, I agree. It's silly to do stuff like that. But hey, it worked. They knew where his loyalty lied.
That's true. They did.
Ty-
know where his
Ty-
voice lied.
Tyler was pretty much the same. He said that he needs to find a position, and lines will be drawn tonight. So like there's a bunch of people in the middle. Most of the no callers kind of had nowhere to go, and Tyler for some reason just was like, screw the white collars, like I'm my own man. So which is smart on him. Shireen was saying that she's not a swing vote, even though she pretty much was.
She had her keys to the keep, Marty.
And so we don't know what's going to happen. It's a crazy time, and everybody goes to vote, and it's like, all right, it's time for a good Survivor moment. Who's going to get voted out?
So Jen plays her idol, and then the first vote's Haley, and then she thinks, "Oh God, no, I've messed up. Haley's going home." But that was just the will vote. So 7 votes for Jen: Mike, Dan, Rodney, Kelly, Sierra, Carolyn, and Tyler. None of those votes count. Jen, Haley, Shireen, and Joe all voted for Kelly, and Kelly goes home.
See, and I really wish, for one, why was it Kelly as opposed to anybody else that they wanted out? She seems like a less key player to go after than some of the people they could have, because they're going to be, no matter what, they're going to be 4 strong and hope they're screwing things up with the idol play.
Right. Who else would you have voted out?
I mean, yeah, Mike, Dan, Rodney, hell for
Rodney.
them. Rodney.
Yeah, Rodney. Rodney
Let's
probably would have been the one to go. Yeah.
We can vote out Rodney. I don't mind that. We can vote him out. Let's do
Even
it.
Mike or Carolyn are much stronger competitors. Kelly's a very strong competitor, no question about that. You know, she takes a cinder block to the face or whatever it is, and she's still, she's still rocking the game. But
I mean, the big thing is they just want to break up the power couple.
right,
Yeah.
right. So I don't know. It was very, very strange, and I also wish they showed more of the camp life, because I don't know. Based on what I saw, I don't know how that Jen and Haley and Sharon and Joe really got wind that Jen was the one on the chopping block. Why would they have thought it was either Jen or Haley? Like, they were talking about power couples, but we missed so much to know why they really were like, okay, it's one of us. It's one of
probably
us.
because Jen is like out there. She's the one. She's the one with the mouth, kind of. And I think that if it was Rodney helping decide who's getting voted out at all, Rodney would want Jen, because Rodney doesn't like Jen. Haley, yeah, she's like the little sister to the Jen.
Because wasn't the easy vote always Sharon? Didn't everybody always talk about, let's get Sharon out, let's get Sharon out?
Oh yeah, let's get her Sharon, because she's annoying and
I feel like if
she doesn't
they
approve of America.
if Haley had an idol, Haley would have played an idol. You know what I mean? Like, Jen played the idol because Jen had the idol. But if Haley had the idol, Haley would have played the idol.
So you don't think Jen really had many plans of playing it for Haley?
I don't think so.
No.
How about Sharon? If she thought Sharon was in trouble.
No, I think it was, she played her idol, basically. And luckily she was right. But I don't think they knew 100% sure. You know what I mean? And I don't think there was ever a chance where she was going to give her idol to someone else. But it worked out fantastic.
It did.
And so that was that episode, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I love to see an idol play that works like that. It doesn't happen as often as you want it to, and of course, the rearranging of the votes to read them in the order that Haley comes first, so you can see Jen's reaction of "oh no" is like amazing, because I'm sure that coincidence really happened. Like, that's exactly how they were read.
I think the problem with this type of perfect idol play, where you get rid of 7 votes or something, while it's cool and all,
you still have 7 people against your.
You still are
6 people against your 4.
Yeah, there's still another tribal in 3 days, and you're going
Right.
there. So you better find another idol, or I get the necklace.
MC, are you saying that some people just don't know basic math?
Oh boy,
It's crazy because a lot of stuff happens too, though.
I don't disagree with you, Jeff. I don't disagree. Right.
I forgot about that.
So
all
we're
right,
gonna
so
do post tribal, right?
well, they didn't show anything post-tribal that episode, did they?
Not that episode, so we're on to the next episode.
Yeah, which is
We-
last
we
week's
don't-
episode. But
I said we don't really need to do the next time because we're about to do the next
oh
time.
yeah, exactly. So we go back to tribal, or back to camp, and Rodney's pissed because of the Kelly went home. He's mad
He
at this
blames
game.
Mike for this. Mike, it's your fault. How dare you not know she had an idol?
And then Will's like, wait, what the fuck? Why was there only one vote for Haley? And Rodney's just like, yeah, man, no, it's cool, we cool. And Will's like, oh, okay, we're cool. So what we doing then? And that was it. Like, what the hell? That conversation was just...
I think it shows how in the dark Will is, and he's just a blind follower.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I think that's interesting though. With this, the whole idea of him being a blind follower is that Mike. Well, Rodney got all upset at him because Rodney still doesn't like that Mike at all. But Rodney's now, I think he's starting to deviate and starting to get his own little minions, like with Will. I think he's trying to be like, nah, Mike won't tell you this, but we're cool, you and me, you know? So I think Rodney's up to no good, and we're starting to see seeds planted that might crop up in the future.
I do know that Rodney wants his sausage cut a different way.
Oh God, was that in this episode?
Yes, it was at the beginning of this episode, and I don't even get the argument in the conversation.
So they're cutting salami, and he's peeling the intestine off the outside, the wrapper that holds the salami, and divvying out to everyone. And Shireen's like, "I want my wrapper on my salami," and he's like, "No, fuck you, bitch. Nobody gets no wrappers in my camp." And like the thing that bothers me the most about this is I think that guy's so dumb. He's assuming that that's like some kind of plastic coating on a salami. That's edible. That's fucking food. Eat it. It's the intestine from a pig. Eat it.
You don't think that he's sitting there with like a stash of salami intestine like under his bed? He's at night and he's like, haha, those motherfuckers.
I think he was throwing it away. He was throwing away food, basically. Really,
But it's funny because the no callers like Haley, Jen, and the new Shireen and Joe, they're like pretending like they own the camp. Once again, like the whole idea that they don't know basic math is kind of funny because you're still on the outs. I hope you know that. What makes you all high and mighty?
I did like how Jen makes a comment near the beginning of this, and I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something to the effect of, yeah, I'm probably going to get voted out next, but either way, it was fun to watch their faces or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
basically saying, like, yeah, I'm still up on the chopping block, I know, but you know what? Screwed them over for a little bit, so I'm having a good time.
I mean, honestly, this is the best case scenario for her. I mean, that could have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was either go home or survive 3 more days.
Right.
And
at least enjoy,
be
like,
smug.
rubbing it.
Yeah, I guess you could at least be smug, right? Yeah. Yeah, you got the salami. And
That's the challenge pretty there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
oh, the reward.
Yeah, the reward challenge.
So it's a series of balance beams. Collect 1 bag of puzzle pieces at a time. If you fall off, you have to start over. First 3 with the 3 bags. Go to the next step. Next step is complete a puzzle. First to finish the puzzle wins. The prize is a zip line and pizza picnic.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Zip line. It's like that South Park episode, how amazing zip lining is.
This is another challenge where, like, you look at Dan, you're like, you're not going to be any good at this. Just there's no way you're going to be able to like bend over and get bags while on a beam or whatever. So Dan and Shireen fall off first at the start.
Like,
Shireen is.
I don't even think Dan stepped foot on the beam before he
he
fell
like,
off.
the beam and fell over basically.
Continue.
Shireen's on the first bag when everyone gets it to the second. Joe and Mike are way in the lead. I mean, that's to be expected, right? Joe, Mike, and Haley all complete the first puzzle. Mike's far behind the other 2. Whenever they're doing the actual puzzle, the puzzle thing wasn't the sliding puzzle. Is that right?
Yeah, so
No.
it was 3 sliding puzzles. One was literally just the first 2 didn't make sense to me because you had to take a puzzle piece, start it in a slide puzzle and get it to the end of the slide puzzle. But every piece in the slide puzzle was just a same size square. Like most slide puzzles are, you got a longer one that you have to work things like around.
Are we sure we're doing the right thing? I think you're thinking of the immunity challenge right now.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. What was the puzzle? Oh no, the puzzle. What's the puzzle? What was the puzzle?
Oh, you're right. It was the anchor.
The anchor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says it right here in the document. Yes.
None of us are tired today, folks. Don't worry.
It's a puzzle piece. You make an anchor and you put them together, and Mike screws up.
Yeah, because this was one that the pieces, when all was said and done, to get them all in, they would only fit one way, but multiple pieces fit in different spots. But then you couldn't finish the puzzle if you had done it like that.
Yeah. Towards the end, Mike's catching up, but then Joe finishes first, and he's supposed to pick 3 people to go with him. So Joe picks Tyler, Will, and Carolyn to go with him. I was kind of surprised by his.
Wait, can he take another person? Can he take another person?
Oh, right. All right. One more.
And Rodney comes. Wait, well, before our super fan, Rodney pitches himself. He's like, I want to do this. I volunteer as tribute. And
Yeah. I'm so hungry. My mouth is watering as we speak. And then it's funny too because Jeff is like, yeah, you eat the most around camp. Shut up, basically.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay. And like when he's like, no, I'm not taking you. Ronnie gets all frustrated and he's upset because he's the real guy to play Survivor. And what was it? Was it Haley or Jen that cusses under her breath at him? It was Jen.
Jen, yeah. Well, I think Jen would be. So I was kind of amazed because Jen, you would think, would be the first pick that somebody like Joe is going to take to a reward challenge because, they're an alliance. They're friends together. Like, this builds their trust. She was cussing, and at first I was like, okay, is she going to continue cussing because she's mad she didn't go? Nope, she doesn't care at all. She knows strategy of the game.
Yeah.
She's just more like, Rodney, that piece of crap.
It's just weird. He didn't pick anyone from his alliance until he ends up picking Sharon. Whenever she's like, but I'm a super fan. He's like, oh, okay, super fan, come.
I think he has a way better strategy that those are the people that he knows he can get close to and help build from.
Oh yeah, they're the weakest members of the alliance.
Yeah,
but I think the problem with it is it's so transparent because he picked nobody else from his alliance that it's not even like, oh yeah, Jen, come with me, and you know what, Carolyn, you deserve it too, and Tyler, you've been great. It's Tyler, Will, Carolyn. We got to talk.
One more. Okay, Shireen, get over here.
Yeah, it was good. So reward, Shireen's upset that Carolyn is there because she doesn't like her and she doesn't want her to eat pizza.
So this is the first confessional that I was like, okay, Shireen really is crazy. Like, because before it was almost like because she kept going to confessional and being like, so anyways, the State of the Union would happen to be like very normal and like this one she was like, Carolyn, I don't like her to eat pizza. My God.
I was so happy to see a crazy Shireen confessional because I didn't think they existed. I thought that it was totally camera, but then I see her in front of the confessional camera and she's done it.
Carolyn mentions that Joe didn't pick any of the blue collars because they're out to get him. And then they're sitting there, and Joe looks over and sees the hidden immunity clue in a bottle of drink that Carolyn has, and he's like, so, man, could you really use some more soda? And then Carolyn's like, yeah, I don't want any more of mine. And, like, how had she been drinking that and not seeing this thing in it?
That was that was one of those things it was edited way too conveniently well, and just that's he sees it from across the room and she's drinking it.
No, well here's the dealio. Here's the dealio. I think it's plausible because it's a dark colored bottle, and when you like, I don't look at my drink when I drink. I'm like, all right, delicious. That was fantastic. And I move on with my day. Especially if you're out there on playing Survivor, talking to everybody, eating pizza. And I'm sure Joe is one of the only people smart enough out there to even consider, oh yeah, there is probably a clue somewhere here. And so he's probably after his meal was kind of looking around like,
That's
Where's Clue?
Survivor 101, though. I mean, that's the thing. And granted, I've never been there to know like what your mind state's in at that particular moment. But I think didn't Mike say something about it before they even left? He's like, man, I gotta watch out because I know that there's gonna be a clue at this thing. I mean, that's Survivor 101. You go to a challenge when there's an idol that you know is out there. There's a clue for it.
And Carolyn seems really smart and on the ball in regards to that type of stuff too. So I'm surprised she wasn't looking for it. But then whenever she hands Joe the thing and he tries to like drink it and like catch it in his mouth and like almost kind of wished he had almost like choked and they'd had to bring in like the medics to like save his life.
Can you imagine Carolyn? Hold on, I'll give you some of mine in just a moment.
No. And then she just swallows it. The clue is swallowed.
It's all part of strategy. She goes behind the bush, you know.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, like.
So Tyler sees all this go down. He sees Joe trying to be all smooth or whatever. And it's like, again, I just don't know how Carolyn was oblivious to all of it. I feel like she should have seen at least that end of it, but whatever. And then there was even more soda after that. He was like, oh, well, I'll just have a whole nother bottle. It was like, why did she give him her soda? It just felt really scripted or something to me. Anyways,
that was the big problem I had with it. Is it seems so. Even if you ignore the clever editing that he's confessional saying that he glances over and he sees it, and then the next scene is Carolyn saying, "Here, have some of my soda." But just the whole fact that there were so many sodas around.
Yeah.
Why would she be like, "Oh, you're still thirsty? All these ice cold sodas? Have my half drank one."
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
And then he didn't even he didn't even finish that bottle. He was like, I'm just gonna open another.
Yeah,
it was yeah. Anyways, so here we are next morning. Tyler and Joe think they could sneak off and clean dishes, but Mike, as you said already, was not having any of that. He knew that they were going to be coming back with some kind of clue. So Mike goes following them. He's climbing
Spy
trees.
Shack on it.
he
Yeah.
did go Spy Shack on it.
And then Mike sees Joe showing Tyler the clue, and he's like, "What the fuck? What's going on here?" So right after he sees that, Mike just walks up on him, like, "Hey, what you guys doing over here? Washing some dishes? Let me wash some dishes too."
But what did they all
that's when
have
it all
in
goes
common?
down.
Huh? I didn't hear you
What
there.
they all have in common? They were still wearing their clothes. I don't know what's going on.
I was like, "How can you wash dishes in that attire?"
Yeah, that must be uncomfortable.
Guude, are you good?
Guude's face is priceless right now. Oh, Guude's face is gone.
Oh,
What
now he's just a G.
Now he's just a G.
Maybe he'll recover one day soon.
Well then, that was a bro. Oh, he's
I
back.
think my internet died.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Your face.
I could see you guys making fun of me, like, and I can still see you, but I couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Yeah, you
okay.
knew we were making fun of you by making a pose of a face you couldn't even see on your own.
Yeah, no, I heard you say, "What's the matter with his face?" And then
No, that had nothing to do with you freezing in Skype, but I mean,
Oh, all right.
We're
Yeah.
going on idol discovery time because everybody knows now there's an idol out there, and Mike is like,
well, why? I question Tyler in that situation and circumstance. Maybe he just didn't think on his feet fast enough, and I understand he wants to keep Mike and his alliance in the loop and not be like, "Oh no, there's no idol clue. I don't know what you're talking about," because that would make Mike all skeptical. Why tell him the full clue?
Yeah, he could have. I don't know. Maybe he just didn't think quickly on his feet. But yeah, you could have just made up something and not given him everything.
Yeah, even the end of it, because it basically alluded to that it's defying gravity, so it's up like in a stump. Just be like, and I'll give everything and be like, buried down below.
Yeah,
And
right.
then, I mean, and then you at least throw him off a little bit. Like, I don't understand why he just instantly was like, "Here, clue, have it." You have
There's
no
a
idea.
lot of things about this whole thing that I didn't understand. Like MC says, they go crazy. Everyone's running around looking for idols now. Joe doesn't find it, but Mike is like, "Oh, yeah, you buddy, you found it. He found it, everybody." And Joe was like, "All right."
I think that was an awesome play by Mike.
it was so weird. It's like a new Survivor thing. I like when those type of things happen.
And I think Joe was caught so off guard, but also is smart enough to know that if he just adamantly denied it, he'd be the big target.
Right. But the thing is, after
Granted,
that
he's the
happened,
big target
Joe
anyway.
stopped looking. Joe was like, all right, everybody thinks I have it.
Yeah, why
Guess I have it.
Why Joe stopped looking is beyond me. I understand it made everybody else stop looking.
Yeah.
I get it. Joe should have. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't understand it either. He's like, all right, well, I guess everyone thinks I have it, so I guess I'll believe it too.
But then at the same time, I also don't understand why Mike sat there eating termites. It's-
Yeah. I wonder. I'm starting to believe everyone when they say this entire show's scripted because Mike. Every time they show Mike, he's just eating something new. Like that's been his MO. Like star of the show, look a scorpion.
at least
And now he's like, oh look, termites. Mm.
At least you talked about the scorpion. The termites were just like nonchalant, like while he's talking
Yeah.
about something else. It's like, so anyways, I was at the store today and, and so
What else has that man ate? He's just eating stuff. Didn't he eat like a spider or something too, or a cricket?
I don't even remember at this point. I think it was just the scorpion at the beginning, but I mean, it's we can embellish.
Yeah, I just imagine Mike running through the woods, actually, just like, and he's like stopping by the termite tree for a little snack, and then running off, scurrying off. So he finds the idol, and he gives an Oscar award-winning speech before finding the idol about anyone that can find an idol is a complete genius. And you know, at that point, before they even show him finding the idol, that he's found the idol.
Right.
Yeah, it's like oh boy, here it comes. Editors, you're not as sly as last season, but this one.
So he's got the idol, and he's not going to tell anyone.
I just read your little blurb. Mike eating termites out of the nest for a little sustenance. Like,
So we also have something else before immunity, which is Dan appealing to Shirin. I don't know why we need Shirin's vote, but for some reason Dan wants her vote. So Dan is saying your game is over. It's really weird. I like. There's a weird part of me is like, you're talking like you're smart, but what you're saying is stupid.
He thought he was being nice to her. That was the best part. He was like, I'm going to be nice to Sharon. Yeah, your game's over.
well, it was just like the apology that he did to who did he even do that apology to?
Pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Who's that tall blonde? I can't even remember her name right now.
Is that Haley?
No, not Haley. The my God, what is her name?
Jen.
No,
Oh, Kelly.
Sierra.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who?
Sierra. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she made like zero play in this episode. I think she says some things at Tribal, but other than that, like Jen, I was shocked because the whole big thing last episode with Jen was such a little part of this episode. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even like on the camera. I almost forgot she was there until they sat down at Tribal Council again because I was just like, yeah. I guess maybe that's her strategy. Everybody's against me. I'll just kind of shy away, and maybe other people start fights with each other, and I'll be fine.
That's not a bad strategy
Not
either.
a bad strategy.
All right, so we go over to the immunity challenge now, and this is the one that we got confused about. So this is the one where you have a puzzle piece, you move it through some slide mazes until you get to the final slide puzzle, and then you complete the final slide puzzle with it. And Sharon is like, well, I'm a computer scientist, so this should be great. This is my arena. She's like announcing it to everyone before the challenge even starts.
Shireen is so weird. It's like, is she? When I started hearing this, my first actual reaction was, is she going home tonight? Because usually when they start showing a person like at their most crazy is when they finally vote him out. But
I love the little thing that her and Jeff had. She was like, got so much energy, I'm like the opposite of a bomb. And then Jeff's like, and then she's like, "Ugh." They're just like, they just keep doing this thing.
they share a moment.
It just keeps like
Yeah.
flashing back to his face going,
Yeah. Okay then, let's get on to the challenge. In this challenge, everybody must slide the puzzles.
I mean, okay, so the moment we hear that it's a challenge, it means that you have to be somewhat intelligent. We know Rodney has no chance at all, and he shows that. He can't even get through the first slide challenge. Everyone
which is
else
crazy.
done.
Which is crazy because this thing, even from like a slide puzzle, can be hard. This was literally put block. The first two are put block in beginning and shuffle things in a circle and get block out end. There's no there's nothing except just like literally nobody in there. A baby could do this puzzle. I think this is like straight up off of one of those little baby things with the things you pull and the button you push, and it's a little slide puzzle you move your piece through. Like that's
Rodney.
It's made out of wood instead of plastic.
that's true. It threw him off. Threw him off.
So out front is actually Shireen, Joe, and Tyler. Joe was the first to finish the maze. This guy's, he reminds me of Ozzy a little bit, but anyways, he's really good at the game. Rodney and Haley are way behind when everyone else is starting their puzzle, like the end puzzle. Dan says, I got it, Jeff.
Dan flew through that, though. Like, he got to it pretty late, the real slide puzzle part, and then he was like, and I was like, holy crap, he might come up with this thing, because he flew through that part of it.
Yeah.
Granted, wrong, but...
Yeah, wrong. And then 3 seconds later, I got it again! Wrong. And
he didn't understand how words work.
Well,
I know, it was so frustrating. There's a border around the puzzle, and like part of the border is like in the center of his puzzle, and it's like that doesn't spell anything in English either, guy.
I think he didn't understand, and this is where slide puzzles I think can get hard, because he had, I think the very first one, he just had like 2 of them were swapped left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Now in a slide puzzle, there's no easy way to just swap those pieces back, because if you try to loop them in a circle, you're literally just going to keep going in a circle.
Right.
You actually have to do some manipulation on the edge, which is where I think his downfall was and why he ended up getting it wrong again. But he had the speed, like, I thought he was going to pull it out, because he only had those 2 wrong at the beginning, and I was like, oh my god, he might be able to do this, but he then put a border in the middle of the puzzle instead.
I think it helped some other people too, because he said he had it, everyone looked at his, and they were like, oh, that's what it says. Yeah. So anyways, Joe ends up actually having it.
Wait, Joe wins a challenge?
Yeah, right. So 3 in a row for Joe. He's a 3-peat. And Rodney is still sad about Joaquin. He's like, man, we just be sitting back at camp eating rice and beans.
That one day we had together was the most wonderful day of my life.
All right.
Before a tribal, there was like very little of anything actually. Shireen ends up being like this like scrambler. She's the only one really doing any scrambling, and the big thing that she cooks up, and I thought it was going to be a big thing, is the possibility of a plan for the girls to unite and vote out Dan.
Yeah,
that was the plan.
We should have gone with that the last tribal.
And the girls don't actually mind Shireen apparently. So hey, let's take this plan all the way. But that's pretty much all that was said. Do you guys have anything else? Because I didn't catch anything else of importance.
The only other thing I saw that was is for the first time someone actually questioned where the white collar idol is. Dad was like, so where's the white collar idol? And then Tyler and Carolyn were like, no, Sharon doesn't have it, so it doesn't matter. So they never really came around.
Well, the only thing that I was really confused at with that whole conversation is because we know Carolyn has it. Yeah. Tyler knows Carolyn has it, but Dan's reasoning, he thinks that it's either Carolyn or Tyler, isn't because they said that Shireen doesn't have it for sure. It was that something about everybody was looking for an idol, and then she stopped. And I don't think she's that smart to hide the fact that she was looking for an idol. Like, that was literally what he said, and why he thinks Shireen has it is because she stopped and she's not that smart. And I was like, I don't understand what your logic is right here, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to the right conclusion, but, I mean, it was more like, he
stumbled in on accident.
Let's add up 5 arbitrary numbers, but just say the answer's 10 because that's what the actual answer to the question is. But it has nothing to do with those arbitrary numbers you threw out there.
Illuminati confirmed. All right, so we go to tribal. Mike says that everyone's able to play the game. He's like, are you going to go with someone who gave you pizza or someone who has been providing for you the whole time? It's like, because Dan,
he thinks he's been providing for them the whole time.
Yeah, what Mike does, right. And Dan talks about how flippers never win.
Flippers never win.
That poor dolphin.
But, I mean, and Shireen is like, have you Tony. Have you ever seen Tony? What is that? Is that the second Tony reference this freaking game? Oh yeah, Mike went Spy Shack. So
Yeah.
these Tony references are too good.
And then, oh god, here comes Haley, and she's like, "Wait a minute, we're Tribe America. What if the colonists had never flipped with the greatest empire in the world? Flippers have a great historical record."
And everyone's like, "Yeah, woo!"
Thank you, Haley.
"Yes,
You will serve
honestly,
well on the America tribe.
that one sentence made it all worth this tribe being named America, at least, because that was hilarious." Yeah.
Tribe America.
Yeah, Sheard's like America. That's all Sheard had to say about that, America. So they vote. There is no hidden immunity idol played. And the votes go Will, Tyler, Mike, Carolyn, Dan, and Rodney all vote for Haley. Haley, Sierra, Sheeran, Jen, and Joe all vote for Dan. So Dan was close to going home, but no cigar.
Who else did they think they had on their side? They thought they had Tyler?
See, I don't know. Who did they think they
There
had?
was somebody else that they thought they had. I'm pretty sure it was
the girl?
Tyler.
Was there any girls that didn't vote for Dan?
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
I don't think they thought they had Carolyn. I didn't think that they thought they had. I don't know that they ever did the math.
So Dan was right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, because if we
Dan
didn't say
was
that
right.
when Dan was talking to Shirin and his thought he was being nice, telling her she was going to go home, he kept telling her she doesn't know basic math. For a smart person, you don't know basic math, and you're on the bottom of the numbers.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I wonder if afterwards she was like, "Fuck, we need to make an abacus, guys."
Give me some rocks and some sticks.
If I could count the number of rocks I needed for this abacus, we could do math.
So next time we see a bunch of people falling on obstacles in a water challenge, and Jen's throwing in the towel. She has nothing out here except for despair.
So there's no way that Jen can quit at this stage in the game. Come on, like if you quit after the merge, I hate you forever. I think
Because you lost Haley. Let's be real. The only reason she might be sad is because she lost Haley. Unless Dan's bullying her more.
Right. I did laugh way harder than I should have, right, when they said next time, and it showed people just going, "Ah, boom," like in obstacles, like falling down. I was like,
Will just flippering on down. Bloop, 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 bloop.
So 2 very good episodes. Makes me very intrigued to see where this goes. Now, the question I couldn't remember, jury starts there's 9 on the jury, so there's 12 people left?
There are
Jury?
11 people that remain, and they did say that Haley was the first member of the jury.
Oh, they did. I missed that because I was waiting to see if she was part of the jury or not. I couldn't remember.
She is. Actually, there's 10 that remain now. Now that Haley's gone, there's only 10 that remain. So they started 11.
Okay. So Kelly's the only post-merge that doesn't make the jury.
Yeah.
Poor Kelly.
Poor Kelly.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about Ponderosa this year.
Jen. You mean Jen.
Oh yeah, it is.
No,
Ponderosa.
Jen's still there. Kelly's the
Yeah,
one who got voted out last time.
Right, because of the idol. Right, I'm being dumb.
Let's
Sorry.
see. Is there a Ponderosa?
Yeah, I'm just curious what the place looks like this time.
Bonus clips. No, doesn't look like it. Full episodes. I don't want full episodes. I'd like Ponderosa, please. Oh God, it's playing an advertisement.
I was going to say.
Wait, no. Haley and Rise of Ponderosa. A 7-minute video.
I'll have to check that out and see what it is for next time. Because
let's go watch Haley's Life, the new reality show.
Yeah, I'm just curious if it's like some big fancy mansion, or if it's a resort, or it's like a hole in the ground.
I will add this to bookmarks for later.
Could be any. Oh, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Wrapped up nicely.
Enjoy tonight's episode.
Yeah, I know I will
Excited.
if I can get some sleep. I will enjoy it tremendously.
We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Oh boy.
Bye.